Hi there everybody. I thought I'd do a video today about watching the news and to watch or not to watch. I know it's not such a simple debate, but some of you have, especially some of the students at the school that I'm working at, often discuss some of the events that have been happening in the news with a lot of concern and with a lot of worry and anxiety. So I'm just going to share my personal views on it, and this is not to say it's right or wrong, but this is one of my my take on it, really, because I used to watch the news on a regular basis on television and at any particular time of day. And so what I found was that if I watch the news in this way, there's constant images that I'm being bombarded with, and much of the news that we watch, as you know, is very negative. So I find that this negativity and these negative images that I see on the news really affect me, whether I realize it or not, and it causes a lot of anxiety, and these images stay in my head for quite a long time, and it does affect my mindset. It affects my mood. It affects me in quite a profound way, whether I realize it or not. So if you are always watching the news, now there is something to say, there is another side of the argument which says, well, you need to be informed about what's happening in the world today, but there are other ways to be informed. It's not about being an ostrich and burying your head in the sand and pretending that none of this is happening, and it's not about wrapping yourself in a pink bubble or anything like that, but it's just to say that you control what goes into your head, and you are in control, that you can be in control of what you see, what you hear, and anything, whether that's the news, whether that's anything else. So I have showed a video recently about it was a bit of a Mickey take on the news, and some of you who watched that video about Ellen DeGeneres on saying most news is not good and it's all negative, and she talked about looking at more positive things. So one thing you can do, instead of constantly watching the news, constantly putting the TV on and seeing what negative things are happening in the world today, you can take things in a more measured way and watch and actually take news in, or dip in and out of things in your own way. And the way I do this, I will log on to the internet and maybe go on to a site which doesn't show videos and doesn't show graphic images of the news. And so, for example, I know that theday.co.uk, which is used in a lot of schools, has news stories which you can read about, and which school students can actually relate to. It's more relatable, and it's put across in a way that school students can easily take in. So that is one way to be informed about current affairs and news stories. So you can pick and choose when you take the news in, and you don't have to have all these images being bombarded at you, which really do affect you, whether you realize it or not, because yes, what I've been seeing is a lot of anxiety and a lot of stress about recent events that have been going on. So it was just a short video to really draw awareness to the fact that you have the remote control, metaphorically speaking, in your hand, literally as well as metaphorically, as to which news you watch, when you tune in, and whether at all you want to tune in at all. So use that, use your choice, and you don't have to be bombarded by it. Take the news. If you do want to be informed about current affairs, you can take the news in at your own pace, without images, without constant graphic images being bombarded at you. And remember, there's always many positive things that are happening in the world that we don't even get to hear about. And it's those stories that we need to look out for, and it's those stories that we need to tune into to really balance things out and realize that there's actually a lot of good going on in this world that we are not even aware of. So those are my thoughts. Be very selective about which news you watch and how you get your news, or even if you think the news is worth watching, because you're in control. Okay, so I hope everybody's well and have a lovely weekend. I've just finished school for the week and looking forward to the weekend. So wherever you are, hope you have a nice rest and a lovely weekend. Take care. Bye bye.